Hello my bookworms, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney. Today's video is going to be another writing vlog, another reading vlog, a bookshelf vlog. Can you believe it? I'm really excited for this week, so I cannot wait to take you along with me. So hey, what's up? How are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. We're covering a lot of ground in this vlog. We have a lot to catch up on writing, on reading, and not to mention we're finally going to be opening up all of my boxes of books that have been packed for well over a year. Because if you missed my last video, I went into part 1 of building my dream home library. I'll link it down below. I'm really happy with that video and I'm so excited to continue that series. This is like kind of part 2 in a way because the organizing of all of my physical books is going to be going into what I end up putting on my shelves, right? So we're going to be opening up all those boxes. We're going to be seeing what books I even own anymore because I don't know. I've acquired quite a few books since we moved into our new home, but I really haven't gone through all of them. So I'm really excited to be doing that. I also am going to be finishing Iron Flame, which I am about halfway through now. And at the point that I'm at in this book as compared to Fourth Wing, I right now know that I was enjoying Fourth Wing a lot more than I am Iron Flame, but I'm still having an okay time. We'll get into it a little bit more later, but some of the plot twists should have stayed in book 1. That's what I'll leave you with right now. So welcome to the vlog. Before we get any further, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is BetterHelp. I am so excited to be working with BetterHelp again and have the opportunity to talk about therapy in a positive light while also bringing you guys a 10% discount code through the link in my description. I personally started therapy when I was in middle school for depression, self-harm, and anxiety. And though I am now grateful for the journey that I was able to take to get me to where I am today, I really do love all of the technology advancements made over the years that has made therapy even more accessible to all. And you guessed it, this is where BetterHelp comes in. They are online based and you can have your therapy sessions as a phone call, a video chat, or even just messaging, whatever is most comfortable for you. BetterHelp will match you with one of their 30,000 therapists within their network, which gives you a wider range of expertise that might not be available in your physical area. And if the therapist that you're matched with first doesn't feel like the right fit, which can be common when you're first starting, you can easily switch to a new therapist at no additional cost without stressing about insurance, who's in your network, or anything like that. To get started, you'll fill out a questionnaire that will assess your specific needs, and then you'll get matched with your therapist in most cases in 48 hours or less, where you can then schedule therapy sessions that are most convenient to you. Over 4 million people have started using BetterHelp to live a healthier, happier life. So if you think you might benefit from therapy, consider BetterHelp. You can click on the link in my description to not only support my channel, but it'll also get you 10% off your first month. So thank you so much to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. And now, first on the docket, I kind of want to just go through my books. I haven't been up in my library all day today. I've been doing kind of like clerical things down here in the living room, but my books are calling to me. So let's go spend some time in my new library. It's so fun to see them all. There is a method to the madness, I promise. All the books over here in this corner are for sure on hauls. There's a stack behind this one, and this stack, that stack, and this shorter one right there are books that I want to go through and see if I actually want to keep them or not, like if I'm still interested in them. And then the 2 stacks right here and here is kind of the same thing, except those 2 stacks have predominantly a lot of young adult books that I bought so long ago and that I still haven't read. So I don't know if I'm still interested in them or not, since I don't read a lot of young adult anymore. Then I also have a stack or 2 that are like books that I really have loved and I don't necessarily want to get rid of, but I don't know if I'll put them on these shelves or not. They might go on like the other shelves in the room. I don't know yet. And then the rest of them, all of these books that I do want to keep, and I need to figure out where to put them, how to arrange them, all of those things. So definitely an undertaking. Took a lot of effort. It feels really fun though to see them all out, especially in front of the shelves. I'm really excited to start like actually going through them. But for the rest of this evening, this little side quest of the day is over. Our Indian food was actually just delivered and this made me very hungry. So we are going to go eat that. And I might just see you in the morning because the rest of the evening I will probably just be writing out welcome letters to my wildflower and ecosystem tier in my Patreon. I want to try to get those out tomorrow, so I want to get those done tonight. But first, we're gonna eat some food. Hello, good morning. morning. It is 11:40 now. I've been awake since probably like 6:45. We wanted to be up at 6, but we went to bed late because I was doing those welcome letters, and I was like, Caleb, I'm not going to bed until I finish these. And we do everything together because we're codependent. So we both stayed up a little bit too late. And like we have been all month, we've been getting up early to write before Caleb has to go to work. Most days I will continue to write after he goes to work. And you know, it's been very difficult trying to balance it all this month. I'm making a latte, in case you were wondering. That's what I'm doing below the camera. But the point of NaNoWriMo is to write 50,000 words in 1 month. And it definitely like felt like a lot, but it didn't feel unattainable. That was before it started happening. Trying to write almost 2,000 words a day on top of reading for content, reading for pleasure, making content, editing content, still having to work at the hospital. I'm like pretty confident that it is almost unattainable if I wanted to still have like a healthy sleep schedule. Like if I went to bed between midnight and 1 a.m. and still woke up at 6 a.m., I might be able to like get those words in and get everything done that I needed to, but that would be at like the cost of my own health, and I'm not about to do that. What's important for this month of like National Novel Writing Month is the fact that Caleb and I are creating a new healthy routine. Whereas like every single day that I haven't worked, I have been up writing before doing anything else of the day. And same with Caleb. Even on the days that I work, Caleb has been at the computer writing every single morning, which is phenomenal. Both of us feel a lot better about our mornings. So I'm trying to look at it that way instead of letting my competitive nature take over and being like, well, Sydney, you're losing. You're not going to win NaNoWriMo. And I'm not. I'm for sure not going to. But I am almost at 13 or 14,000 words right now, which is great. I'm really proud of that. And I'm mostly just proud that I'm still showing up every day. So yesterday and today's writing sessions were not very productive. I only got like 400 to 500 words written, which is still okay, but it's not what I was doing a couple weeks ago. You know, I was doing like 1,500 to almost 2,500 words a day, which I was like, oh, I totally got this. I can totally do this. But the thing is, you have to write almost 2,000 words a day to get the 50,000. And the days that I work over 12 hours at the hospital. And it's just not feasible for me to wake up earlier than I already do to go to work. And it's not feasible for me to stay up later after working that long, especially with the type of job I have. Like I am tired. I'm mentally exhausted when I get home. So on those days, I don't want to force myself to do it because then it's not fun. So instead, Caleb and I have been looking at it as just weaving it into a new healthy routine within our lives. And it's been going well. And at the point in my story right now, my main character is like getting ready to leave for her big adventure, right? She's never left this little port city that she grew up in, but now she's about to go on this huge adventure, right? Like a lot of fantasy stories start. Up until this point, I've been like flying through. I've been writing witty dialogue, exciting little like world building, foreshadowing things, giving glimpses of what like the history was, what her hometown's like, and you know, things like that. It's been really fun and relatively easy to write. But now that she's like getting on this big pirate ship to go and do this like dark market job, it's getting harder because I know how to write like day-to-day things, you know, but now we're really entering into like the fantasy bits of the story, and I haven't tried to write that before. So it's getting harder. I'm enjoying the challenge and I'm excited to keep going, but it's definitely slowed down a little bit because I'm having to think a little bit harder. It's not flowing as easily as it previously was, which I'm trying not to get discouraged about, right? Because I know not every day is going to be super easy, or I'm not going to feel super creative every single day. So what's important to me and Caleb is that we are still showing up. If we're not able to write paragraphs or scenes, we're at least jotting down notes of what we want to accomplish one day when our minds are working a little bit better. So yeah, that's the writing update. I'm kind of like unofficially not doing NaNoWriMo anymore, or I guess I'm not focused on winning as much anymore, even though that literally kills the part of me that is so aggressively competitive. I have to be okay with that, because if I'm not, I will literally drive myself crazy. So I have to be okay with that, and that's it. I'm gonna pull these shots of espresso. 1 second. A little bit more cinnamon than I normally put in there. So now that it is about noon and all I want to do is go upstairs and continue to organize my books, I have to prioritize my day. And that means I have to do work before I can play. So what I'm going to do is sit down and edit a little bit. If you're seeing this video, then that means that this week's video was approved by our sponsor because that's what I have to do. I have to send over the little ad portion in order to make sure that I can post this video this week. But regardless, that's what we're gonna sit down and do right now. It should only take me about an hour. And then I think we're gonna go back upstairs into my library and do a couple fun things. Abby's all tucked in with her hoodie, ready for a little editing session, and we're gonna get on into it. Hello, welcome back. Both project managers are in the library right now. Juno is looking at the potential unhaul stack, which is actually what I came in here to look at as well. She's done. She's already decided that she doesn't want any of them. I'm gonna move Avi's bed in here so that she can actually just be comfortable. Okay, so realistically, I can start trying to organize my bookshelves. Like all of these books over here, I know for sure I'm going to be keeping, but I don't know, I've never done this before. And here's what I kind of want to do. So this stack of books right over here are books that I'm for sure going to unhaul, but I have a few stacks next to it where I don't know if I want to keep them or not. On one hand, some of them I might still be interested in, but I don't have any immediate plans to read them whatsoever. But I also don't want to get rid of them if I'm going to read them later because I don't want to buy a book again. You know what I'm saying? But my question is, and what I want your guys' help with is, I'm gonna go through some of them or show you like little stacks, and I want you to tell me specific books that you think I would really enjoy out of these books, if there are any. But let's go through these stacks really quick of books that I am unsure about. I don't know. And maybe looking at them and then reading through your comments might make it a little bit easier for me. First one, Divines by Ellie Eaton. I bought this purely because of the cover. I honestly don't know anything about it other than it's like an English boarding school. It was giving me Bunny vibes when I read the synopsis in the indie bookstore, but I don't know. Do you think I'd like it? This series makes me think about One of Us is Lying or whatever that one book is. And I didn't really love that one. And I don't know if I love the idea of a thriller mystery series. I don't know how I feel about that. I know people like this, but like, would I like it? Maybe not. These books I bought and I feel like I've heard really mixed things about. Let me know if you think I'd like them. All right, then there's this stack that, you know, take a second to look at it. Let me know if there's any of these. I either haven't heard much about these or I don't know if they're like things that I would enjoy anymore, like the young adult and the middle grade. Let me know. This is so difficult. What are you doing? Can I help you? Okay, I have another stack that is sort of a lot of young adult books, and again, I just don't read a lot of YA anymore. So I don't know if I really need to keep these or if I should put them back out into the world so that more people have the possibility of enjoying them. You know what I'm saying? So let me know if any of these I should keep. I don't think all of these are YA, but I know there quite a bit of them are. I'm basically just throwing things into piles right now. Like so many of these I bought so long ago, and now I've acquired so many others that I don't know what I want to do with myself anymore. This stack is going to be a lot of fantasy books and series that I need someone to tell me if they're worth it or not, or if I should give up before I start. All right, so we have, you know what? I'm gonna bring you to them. All right, here's the fantasy stack. Let me know any of those if you think I should keep them. And then we have this book of the month stack, okay? Quite a bit here that I don't know if it will be worth it for my time or not. So it's really these 4 stacks, all right? So here is a little wide angle of all the books that I'm really unsure about keeping. So I'm enlisting your guys' help. I want you to tell me which books I absolutely need to keep and which books, you know, are not worth my time. And who knows, I might keep literally all of them. I am so wildly unsure about all of this that, you know, who knows what's gonna happen. Not me, not Avi, that's for sure. Okay, now that I've kind of gone through them, I feel like I could start putting some books up. Wait, what time is it? Okay, it's 2 o'clock. I'm doing reading sprints with my patrons at 3 o'clock. I don't want to start a project that I can't finish. What I'm gonna do is place some of my favorite series or books that I obviously know I'm gonna be keeping and just kind of do a temp check. I'm gonna put them where right now I think I want them and then come back to it later to see if I still like them there, because again, I've never done this before. I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know where I'm gonna want all my books, in what order. Like, I know I want to do by genre, and then I want to do like alphabetical within the genre, but I don't know where I want my genres. Like, I don't know if in the middle shelf I want to do like all my fantasy, since it's like my favorite genre, or if I want to do fantasy blended into sci-fi, then go into like lit fic and romance. Like, I don't know what makes sense. Maybe I'll do fantasy in the middle right now, and then do like sci-fi horror and like my weird shit, and then go into like lit fic and romance over there, and then like some nonfiction at the bottom. Again, I don't know what's all gonna fit, so I gotta be pretty selective with these 3 shelves because they're all I have right now. But okay, I think that's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to just throw some books up and see how I feel about it. Okay, here's the thing. I started organizing, right? Decided, let me flip you around. So I had decided that I was gonna do fantasy just in this middle shelf, but then I quickly realized that that was not gonna be enough space for all of my fantasy books. So I started moving the A's and B's from this shelf to this shelf, and I decided I was gonna just start fantasy up in the upper left and then just take up as much space on these 2 shelves as needed. But when I started moving these to here, I then remembered my second problem. And that is that Caleb specifically told me, hey Sydney, don't put anything on the upper 2 shelves yet, because I still have to screw the shelves into the wall, you know, to prevent them falling over, just in case. Not that we have kids like running around climbing on things, but I don't know, who knows? We just wanna be safe. And he just has to buy the screws that are gonna go in like the corners, you know, to nail it into the wall. And he specifically said, hey Sid, you don't plan on putting books on your shelves yet, do you? And I was like, no, probably not. But here I am doing exactly the opposite. So then he compromised. He's like, okay, just leave them off the top shelf. And I was like, oh, no problem. I don't even think I'm gonna put books on my shelf in the next couple days. She lied. So now all of this work that I did really doesn't matter. Putting things in alphabetical order is hard. Like, why is it so hard? It is really fun to see books on the shelves though. It is really cute. So I guess I'm going to stop here and wait for the screws to be in place for me to like continue organizing. But I do feel like I have like a better understanding of where my books are in these stacks and what I need to include in what letters. So like, that's good, I guess. This wasn't for nothing, but also it is now 2:45. So I need to go get ready for reading sprints. I need to have a snack. I'm a little bit shaky. But yeah, so everything you see doesn't matter. It will be changed. But again, it is fun to see books on the shelves. Like, look from this angle, hold on. Like, look, it's starting to look like an actual like library room. Aw, it's so pretty. Isn't it pretty, Abby? Isn't it pretty? Yes, you're so pretty. Oh, good girl. Trash at vlogging today. It's like 3 p.m. now. We woke up, did some writing and, you know, our normal morning routine. Once Caleb went to work, I took some pre-workout because I was gonna work out and then go get groceries because tomorrow we're having our friends over to celebrate my birthday on Saturday, and I am cooking us all a little dinner. Every year for Halloween, I make really good chili. And this year, some of our friends were sick, so we didn't get to partake in that experience together. So now chili with friends is now birthday dinner. But my day quickly got derailed because I drank my pre-workout and then I walked upstairs to get dressed into, yeah, some athleisure wear, not leisure, athletic wear. And I have to pass my library on the way to the bedroom. And when I tell you that I glanced into the room and I immediately stopped dead in my tracks, I mean, I then spent the next hour and a half organizing books again. So previously I had just organized them all into genres, you know? Now, almost all the genres are alphabetized. So it'll actually be really easy for me to put them up up on the shelves once I'm able to, which by the way, Caleb got the screws to fix the bookshelves into the wall, so he's gonna do that tonight. And then tomorrow I'm gonna actually put books on my shelves, which I'm really excited about. But now alphabetizing is done, which is a lot of work, and the amount of times that I said the ABCs today is kind of absurd. I did all of fantasy, science fiction, and mystery thriller. I just have to do like lit fic and romance, which I will do probably tomorrow morning, honestly, because after I hyperfixated on that side quest, I came back to the main quest and exercised, and then I did another side quest today and raked all of our leaves because there's a humongous oak tree out front and it just sheds leaves like nobody's business at this time of year. And I now have calluses on my hands from the rake. I know, woe is me. So no, I did not even go get groceries today. I told Caleb I will go first thing in the morning tomorrow. So we're either going to order food tonight or he's gonna have to pick up a couple essential items on his way home. But I was not about to leave my house at 3 p.m. and enter downtown when rush hour was about to begin. You know, it just doesn't seem like something that I want to do. So now here's the plan, all right? Before friends come over tomorrow, I have to clean the house. So I'm gonna pop on the audiobook of I keep saying Fourth Wing, of Iron Flame and continue this energy that I no longer have now, but I'm gonna do my best to bring it back and clean what I can in the house so that I don't have to do it tomorrow and I can just grocery shop and then relax until I cook us all dinner. I'm so tired. It's been such a long day. But very quick before my camera dies, which it's on 1 bar of battery, I am now 71% of the way through Iron Flame and I feel like it's all right. I know that people are DNFing this book left and right actually. I've talked to multiple people who are saying that they're hanging up the series on this book, which is too bad. But you know, I mean, I get it. It's not for everybody. Me personally, my take on Fourth Wing, oh my God, Iron Flame. My take on Iron Flame is I think that it was rushed. I think it was a rush job and I think that there should have been more time during the editing and writing process. Honestly, not to say that like I could do better, you know, like who knows, but I'm saying that in my consumption, I had a lot more fun with Fourth Wing than I am with Iron Flame. This book feels much like a building book. So like the next book might be even more exciting, where Fourth Wing had a lot of like action scenes and a lot of high stakes. There are still high stakes in Iron Flame, but there are less action scenes and less, I don't know, it feels like there's just like a little less going on, which is not saying much without spoilers, but I will do a little like spoilery section at the end of this video for Iron Flame, so I will finish this book tomorrow morning most likely. But that's kind of how I feel right now, is that I am enjoying being back in the world and with these characters, but I am having issues with some of the courses that the story has taken, as well as what it means for how I will perceive the future events in the book. And again, this will be discussed more in the spoilery section, but that on top of just the writing, I feel like it's suffering a little bit in this book with things like she's in her whatever era, like she's like there's more modernized ways of speaking in this story, which just feels silly. It feels a little bit silly. Not that it's bad, but it definitely makes me pause and think, huh, was that the right call, Rebecca? So moral of the story is that I will be finishing the book and it's feeling like a 3 to a 4. I am loving the dragons and the other creatures that we are getting to follow. But all in all, I'm just not loving all of the interactions between all of the characters that we're getting and just development of the writing and story. Oh, but if you're wondering if you should read this book as of right now, I would say, yeah, I mean, like it's still fun, but it is a building book. There's more world building information, a little bit info dumpy, but I feel like this book is kind of setting up the next book. And Fourth Wing had a lot of hype to live up to. Like it's a shame how much hype this book had because it definitely hurt it, you know, but is what it is. I'm going to try to clean the house a little bit. Wow, I said it was 3, it's actually like 3:45 now. So I have about an hour until Caleb gets home. So I'm going to try to clean what I can so I don't have to do it tomorrow. And I just want to like show my face today because I honestly, this will probably be the only update that I give you today. I just am not in a vloggy mood, and now having physically exhausted my body with working out, raking leaves, and then cleaning the house, like I am just going to sleep so hard tonight. So I'll probably see you tomorrow where we're going to do a little bit more with the bookshelves, discuss the final Iron Flame review. So yeah, I'm gonna muster up some energy and I will probably see you tomorrow morning. these shelves. I'll probably spend so much time reorganizing them, but like, look, I'm sitting in front of my shelves and my hair is different, if you can't tell. It's now Sunday, November 19th. My birthday was yesterday, the 18th, and it was spent pretty much all day doing this to my hair. I did the hair roulette challenge where I was blindfolded and randomly picked what I was gonna get that day. A little bit wild. And this is what I ended up with. She foiled every single hair on my head, and this like purple hue is gonna fade to like a really ashy blonde, and it's gonna be really, really pretty. And it's really pretty now, but I'm also just really excited for it to fade as well. But I slept so hard last night and I look like I'm still really tired because I am, so good morning. I did not plan for my hair to take as long as it did yesterday, so this clip was supposed to be done yesterday. But here we are, we're gonna do this anyways. Just kind of wanted to come back and give you some final thoughts on Iron Flame, show you the shelves. I'm gonna do a bookshelf tour eventually, probably in a couple weeks maybe. Next week will probably be my unhaul video, which there are so many, and I really do need your help. Earlier in the video when I asked if those books you think I would like please help me, because I know that I could always rent them out from the library if needed, but like if I own them and I will like them, I want to keep them if I can, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, look at my shelves here. I'm gonna move you around a little bit. Wow. I don't think that this is like the final resting places for all of them, but this is what works right now with the books that I have. And again, I'll probably reorient them and change them so many times over the next couple weeks, but it's so fun. Like, look at them. I have like a full wall of books. I can't even handle it. I know I gave a lot of like spoiler-free-ish thoughts on Iron Flame so far in the vlog, but there are some spoilery things that I want to just throw out there. I just want to throw them out there. If you don't want to be spoiled, thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. If you are still watching, then leave the little guy with the party hat emoji down below in the comments if you don't know what else to say. And thanks for coming for a bit. But people who want to know my spoilery thoughts on Iron Flame, here we go. You've been warned. Like I said before, quick recap, I think it's a building book. I think that this book has a lot of world building and, you know, magic system building and a little bit info dumpy at times, still with some good action scenes, but this book needed at least 2 more rounds of edits in my opinion. Like, the writing suffered, like I said before. I just think that it was rushed. Not to mention some of the things within the story, like Jack Barlow coming back to life. Like, are you joking? That is, I don't think I've rolled my eyes so hard at a plot twist in my life. Like, now, how are we supposed to believe anyone that dies? Like, they could just bring them back? Like, and for what? Jack Barlow's purpose in coming back was stupid. Like, anyone could have done what he did at the end of the book when he killed his own dragon. Like, yeah, it was super dramatic and, you know, really messed up, but like, that could have been anyone new. You could have introduced a new villain. You could have, you know, I don't know, turned someone else venom. Like, I think that it was a weak advancement in the story just to bring back someone that she knew everyone hated. I don't know. It was, I hated it. What else? That was like the biggest thing that I wanted to say that I couldn't just say outwardly without letting everyone know that there were spoilers. Like, that was the thing that knocked off a full star at the very beginning of the story. Like, I couldn't handle it. I mean, not to mention that Xaden is a venom now at the end of the book, where it's like, I don't know where that's gonna go. And if you're wondering, like, yes, I will continue the series. I just really hope that she takes her time, because I have fun with the story. I have fun with the world. I love the dragons, but I also really appreciate really beautiful, good writing, and that isn't what I got in this book. And not that it was present in the first book, but I think the first book was way more fleshed out and it was more consistent. Oh, and Dane. Okay, I'm kind of here for his redemption arc, I'm not gonna lie. Like, hated him in the first book. Obviously, he was overbearing, too protective, XYZ, you know. But in this book, I feel like he's like finally giving Violet a little bit of space to do her own thing, mostly by force because she wants nothing to do with him. But the fact that they're sort of like acquaintances again and working to uncover how to put up the wards and things, I was here for it. I was happy that he, you know, got his shit together. And now I'm wondering if he's gonna come back as another like love interest once again. But like in the story, obviously they verbally say that like Violet and Xaden, they're like your end game and things like that. It's like, I don't know. I don't believe a thing that Rebecca Yarros says anymore. I did like the advancement in the story with the Griffin writers. I liked Kat as a villain a lot, actually. I liked that. Well, like I actually kind of hated them in the beginning because it was so like catty and petty and stupid. But I grew to like the sort of, I don't know, rivalry that her and Violet were having. I like the addition of the Griffin writers and the little bit of like complexity that it brought to the story, where if the wards were put up, then they couldn't actually wield, and then they were sort of powerless because they don't have signets or anything like that. Like, there were parts of this book that like I feel like were really well crafted, but I just wish that more time was spent on all of it. You know what I'm saying? So I do have hope for the next book. I am going to leave this with like a 3 or 3.5, which I think is fine. I mean, like I had fun with it, but I definitely have issues with it, that sort of thing. But that's it. I plan on doing some videos with the Goodreads Choice Awards. I was going to talk about them in this video, but it's become too long. And I don't really have anything like of note to say that you probably haven't already heard from another booktuber. But basically, I've printed out all of the Goodreads Choice Awards nominees, especially in the genres that I care about. And I've written down like their start rating and how many ratings there are per book. And I'm going to try to figure out who I think is going to win down to like the top 10 or top 5-ish. And I want to make some videos of like reading those choices, hopefully before the winners are announced. But if not, then we're doing our best. But yeah, so exciting things to come. Bookshelf tours, unhauls, the Goodreads Choice Awards, which, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. If you are still watching now, leave me the balloon emoji down below in the comments. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I always appreciate your support. And of course, be kind to one another and happy reading.